This is Greg Strange at the IoD. Now, pensions and retirement are probably not the most exciting subjects on the business agenda, but there's no doubt the present UK pension system is a mess and it's getting steadily worse. The pensions muddle is staring us all in the face.
The problem is a nice one in that we're all living a lot longer than we did. When the pension age was set at 65 in 1948, average male life expectancy was only 66, so most people didn't live to collect their pensions. Now, many people live a long time in retirement. This is good news. The problem is that it's very expensive to fund pensions when people are living 20 to 30 or even more years in retirement.
There are, of course, two types of pension: private arrangements and the state pensions. And of the two, the state pension is probably in the biggest mess of all.
It's an absolute dog's breakfast. You've got a basic state pension, means-tested pension credit, means-tested savings credit, winter fuel allowance, council tax benefit, housing benefit, free telly licenses. It's almost impenetrable as a system, and many people don't claim the benefits that they should be entitled to. So we think it needs radical simplification, radical overhaul to produce a decent, universal basic state pension that people can live on, and then they can plan savings beyond that, every pound of which they will benefit from.
Crucial to the debate is the retirement age. Recently, the Equality and Human Rights Commission called for the abolition of the default retirement age, or DRA. The IoD disagrees, but feels reform is urgently needed.
We think we should retain a retirement age. We think it should be older than it is currently. Probably should match the point at which state pension becomes eligible. But we think it's important that there's a moment when the employee and the employer sit down together to talk about what is the right option for that individual and have a mature discussion about the future.
We are worried about it. For employers at the moment, the default retirement age provides a break point at which they can require their employee to retire. Equally, it provides certainty for the employees because there's a clear signal of when it is appropriate to retire. We have a system at the moment which allows employers and employees, by agreement, to carry on working beyond age 65. The employee has a right to request this. We think the system we've got at the moment works well, and we don't think it needs any amendments at all.
Miles Templeman is at pains to stress that the IoD is not against older employees.
Some employers have actually got rid of the idea of a retirement age, and some are very active in having older people working for them. So B&Q, M&S and some of the big names are actually very active in saying we will have older staff. Other employers perhaps have got a less flexible approach. What we want is every employer to have a very sensible approach to this issue. It's a very important issue. We do want people who want to work to be able to work longer, and we also want training. I mean, there should be opportunities for 60-year-olds to train for something slightly different, and particularly to move on to part-time jobs. So a very flexible approach to the working life is what we want.
So the IoD wants proper structured debate and decision over the future of pensions and retirement, not repeated tinkerings around the fringes, however nobly inspired.
We understand the ideology behind saying that the default retirement age should be done away with, but we think it is a useful tool for both employers and employees at the moment, and we think the system works perfectly well.
So you're perfectly happy really to keep the DRA and perhaps to develop it to actually respond to modern employment needs?
Absolutely. I mean, that's exactly what we want, and getting rid of it doesn't provide the right answer to that problem.